4.
Anyone who's watched our villain countdown from 2016 knows the sordid story of how Perfect Cell came to be. The character himself was Toriyama's third attempt at creating a villain that would appeal to his editors. But it wouldn't be until Cell's third form that Yu Kondo-sensei gave the thumbs up.
And frankly, while we may have a special place in our hearts for the terrifying killer cicada that is Cell's first form, and a place in our colons for his big-lipped second form, we can definitely agree with Kondo that this is optimal.
The build-up to this form all on its own is insane. While most villain transformations at this point had been part of their repertoire to be whipped out and implemented as necessary, Cell's transformation requires a power source. Specifically, his two siblings, androids 17 and 18.
And while the ability to suck up people like so many Capri Suns for power was already terrifyingly effective, it's when his gaping tail hole gobbles up his kin that his true strength becomes apparent. And while his first transformation is rather underwhelming, his second snack turns him into an unstoppable monster.
The hunt for Android 18 on the part of Semi-Perfect Cell is actually pretty intense. After Tenshin Han allows them to escape, he starts wiping out islands in hopes of finding them. But the truly compelling and honestly unsettling series of events happens when Vegeta decides to roll the dice and let Cell have his way.
His descent on Android 18 is some of the most menacing we've seen Cell in this entire arc. And despite Trunks and Krillin's best efforts, they find themselves unable to stop him in time, and the true horror begins.
The anime definitely goes all out here. The entire world can feel the sheer power of this metamorphosis, and the visuals really help to sell this as an unholy rebirth. When the dust finally settles, things get hauntingly calm, and in the middle of everyone stands Cell, in his final, perfect form.
His face is now markedly more attractive, his colors have become more uniform, his form is more slender, his tail is retracted, and his wings have returned, hanging behind him like a cape.
While seemingly understated at first glance, it's important to note just how flashier this design is than many of the other villains in the series so far. Combining black, green, and purple with hints of yellow and gray, his colors are generally subdued, but his wings and accents all over him, from his spots to his crown, give him a lot of character, calling back to both his previous forms while making them more refined and streamlined. Perfected.
Above all else, there's something about Cell's expression in this form that radiates malevolent arrogance. He knows he's hot shit, and when he's taken to task immediately after transformation by Krillin, Vegeta, and Trunks, he provides ample proof that he can walk every step of the walk.
And there's a lot to be said about how this form is earned. We've talked at length this list about how many previous forms don't exactly feel like enough effort was made, either by the story and or by the characters themselves. Here, however, the narrative is literally centered around Cell's tireless ambitions and the struggle he goes through to finally achieve his perfection.
And when he comes out to the other side as this towering, uncomfortably handsome Bugman, you're left to wonder just how out of their depth our heroes have suddenly been plunged. Spoilers. Very.
But while there's a lot of praise to give, there are some qualities that generally hold it back for some of the audience. While his insectoid features do serve to make him stand out effectively against the rest of Goku's rogues gallery, it's hard to see exactly how they communicate the idea of Cell being a perfect life form.
Oh, come on, Kaiser, we're Hunter x Hunter fans. Tagashi whole hog ripped up, homaged Perfect Cell with the King and the Chimera Ant arc. Although there he's a product of nature, while Cell is supposed to be a lab-grown combination of DNA acquired from the main cast. Where the bug parts come from, nobody knows.
It's also worth noting that Perfect Cell is one of the few characters whose concept art was officially released. It's fascinating to look at all the different interpretations Toriyama had before they finally settled on this form.
Oh, I'm kind of in love with this one. It's like imperfect mixed with perfect. Though to think that Cell almost had hair.
And we can also generally agree that Perfect Cell is the best villain transformation in the series. Or at least, that's how the internal voting shook out.
Fraud! I was cheated! I'm taking this to the Supreme Court!
That joke is at least 1 month not funny!